order to start a Corel Painter 11 program, first you must go to the Start menu, click on Program, and go to All Programs. Find the Corel Painter 11 program, click on it to open it. It may take a moment to open. Once it opens, all you need to do to start your file is click on Create New Document. Or, if this window is closed, you can go to File, New. The first thing that you need to do is change pixels to inches on the top two bars, drop-down boxes. You need to make sure for all of our class projects that it is 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 8.5. Click OK, and then your canvas will open up. In order to start a project, you may want to include a picture. How you include a picture is you go to File menu, click on Place. A search box will open up so that you can search for the file that you want to use. We are making campaign posters currently, so I want to open up an American flag. A scaling box will open up that asks you how big you would like to upload the photo. In this particular case, it's going to upload at 100%. I can always hit OK no matter what percentage it shows because I can stretch out the box myself, which I'm going to do here. I can minimize or maximize the screen with this scale in the bottom left corner so that I can see the entire canvas. Stretch it out to fix. I may want to stretch it out exaggeratively, bigger or smaller. Move it around. Now, the first thing I want to do after placing my photograph and stretching it out is I want to go to Erase and click the Erase button on the image so that this box comes up to commit the layer. You must always commit the layer before making major changes because if you have to commit the layer later, you will end up having to start your picture over. So I'm going to commit. One of the things I may want to do is play with the effects of this image. For this project, you must include a specific color scheme. One way to change colors so that you can adhere to a certain color scheme is you could go to Apply Screen. This is just one example. You may come up with your own ideas. So if I want a monochromatic color scheme, one thing I could do is start changing these colors so that they are different blues if I prefer a blue color scheme. And so I can change all three of these to different blues. I can change the threshold on how much of the color shows through or not, and then hit OK. And so here's what I'm left with. Next, if I want to add another layer of photograph, for instance, if I'm making a piece of artwork of Obama, I might want to go to File, Place, find my Obama picture that I found that I wanted to use, that I found through Google Images. I want to stretch that image out because it's cut off at the bottom, left, and top, so I want to make sure I allow the picture to be cut off in those spots. I can also stretch it out a bigger, wider, just depends on what I want to do. Again, remember, first thing I want to do, grab the Erase button, click on it to commit the layer. There's other ways to commit the layer, but that's just the quickest and easiest. Next, I may want to take this wand tool and select. I can right-click, go down to Layer via Cut, then go over to my layers, right-click, and delete. And you see that the background is now visible through Obama. Another way to do this is to simply use the eraser button and erase the background off so that you can see through. You just have to be careful not to erase part of the image. You can also make it larger by coming over here, making the size bigger. Or you could have also shrunk it, which I'll have to do in order to get into those smaller areas. Once I've finished, I may want to add some text. Let me go ahead and finish the erasing real quick, or the majority of it. Now, but actually before I add text, I may want to play with this picture some because it doesn't really fit with my color scheme either. So, some more that I could do is play with more of the surface control. One thing I like to do is using woodcut, and so this is going to change the image and break it down into different layers, kind of like it might do if you're using posterize. You can change to use certain colored sets and warp out the colors some there. You can change with the different edges to make them show more or less detail, more or less areas of darkness. Can raise the edge so it splits up more, or more natural colors, and click OK. Now, one thing, I'm not sure why, but it has erased or added our background back on there, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to now do this again, except for what you're going to see is the background is going to show through more pieces. And I'm going to delete. And now I have Obama with more of the American flag showing through. To add text, I can simply click here, type vote for Obama, grab my arrow tool, make it larger by stretching it out. I can hold down the control button as I click on the corner to change and move it sideways. I can move the vote for Obama here. I can change it to a lighter blue so that it's easier to see. And there we go. I now have a campaign poster. Now that I'm finished, I want to go to File, Save As. I have to save this as a JPEG file. So I go down here to Save File Type, change it to JPEG, click Save. I need to change the title. I'm going to title it Campaign 4 because I've already made some other examples. And now I'm going to save. It asks about layers being merged. Hit OK. Then hit OK again. And now you have saved your file to drop it in JCPS Online Dropbox titled Campaign Posters.